Shivraj sir, because he was my tutor as well as mentor, and his strategy, it yielded so much of marks. Sociology was one of the major reasons why I was called for interview, as well as now this time I got 298, 155 in paper 1 and 143 in paper 2. I met sir in Chennai in 2017, I believe, and it was a great journey to travel with him.
Success saga just started. He is going to get all success. Whatever touches will turn into gold in the future for Mr. Karthik. A very warm welcome to Mr. B. Karthik. I'm very happy that he has cleared this time UPSC examination. Hopefully, he'll be selected for Indian Police Service. He did not had an easy journey in this UPSC preparation, having seen him for many years. I found that what was very strong in him is that he had the mental toughness to crack this examination. Mentally, you have to be very tough, because as I have told earlier that there is no shortcut for this success. You have to wait for your turn to come. He waited for his turn, and today he is a successful civil services aspirant, and he will be sharing his success strategy with you. You can ask questions, but limit your questions to the examination point of view. Okay, so on behalf of all of you, I again extend my hearty welcome to Mr. Karthik.
So first of all, I owe much to Shivraj sir, because he was my tutor as well as mentor, and his strategy, it yielded so much of marks. I think I was called for interview thrice, and sociology was one of the major reasons why I was called for interview, as well as now this time I got 298, 155 in paper 1 and 143 in paper 2. And it's a very big thing that I met sir in Chennai in 2017, I believe, and it was a great journey to travel with him, especially for sociology. I owe my success to him because of his classes and because of his test batch discussions. We used to write answers and rewrite the discussed answers, but that yielded me so much of marks. So I owe my success, most of my success, to sir. And sir has given a brief intro, and this is my 8th attempt, and my third mains and third interview. And sociology, I got 275 in my first mains, and 269 in my second. And in the recent 2022 attempt, I got 298, as you know. So I will just brief what I did. So I joined sir's class. Before that, I had interest in sociology. I wrote some MA sociology exams in JNU. Even I got selected to it, but I didn't join it. I want to enter into civil services. That was my aim. And after choosing an optional, you need a good source and a mentor. That is very much essential to crack this examination. And I searched many institutes, and one institute my friends were suggesting was, at that time it was called as Smart Leaders. Now it is Sivaraj Velas Academy. And I just attended, as you attended, you would have attended orientation class. Like that, I too attended the orientation class. It is very convincing, because he gave a list of 25 books, and the next moment itself he told, you need not study any of the books. So that was convincing to me, but because I'm not a good reader, I used to listen to classes. So his classes were very excellent. And sociology and UPSC sociology is different. To get marks in sociology, you need to do something that is necessary for this examination, not MA sociology kind of thing. So for that, test batch discussions now very helpful, because He don't give framework, he give answers. That answers, no, you can amend answers. That your genius will work on it. But for if you're a fresher and if you are struggling with answers, definitely his answers, no, it is a bulk of source. You can, just like that, you can write in mains. And sociology, it's a very broad subject. There is no right or wrong answer. It is just perspectives. So it gives a free flow of your knowledge too. So all these have combined together to get this much score. And if you have any questions, direct questions about maybe you might be a fresher, or you might have given mains, or you might have no consistently working but still not cleared prelims. It's not a matter. Now you can no, some questions, everybody will have specific questions depending upon your stage of preparation. So you can come up with your question so that I can give my inputs. So as you said, sociology is a broad subject and it helps everywhere. In essay, in GS1, obviously, in society questions, even in history question, there was a question like whether communalism, I remember it was asked in 2018, my first mains, and sociology helped me. Communalism, whether it is a political, the reason behind communalism is political, or is it a deprivation in society? So it is both. Here, if you are a student of sociology, you can address the second part very well. And if you are a student of history, definitely you know how British created divide and rule. So your answer becomes complete. They just ample. Out of my experience, I'm telling that evaluators look for simple answers, not very big and perfect answer. No, there is nothing called perfect answer. So you be simple as possible. That will attract the examiners. Even today, I believe that I did not write any single test in 2022 because I gave this 8 attempt out of frustration. I want to exhaust attempt and should not think about UPSC anymore. But that helped me. Maybe it kept me calm. And one more thing is, I went with an open mind. I addressed the demand of the question, and with the residual knowledge as well as the notes I took personally. I took from SAS class in 2018. That I revised. It's not that you can go just like that and write an answer, but you have to be well prepared and calm. Again, coming back to your question, in GS4 also, there will be questions like attitudes. Attitudes, one of the source of attitude is society. Socialization, primary socialization, secondary socialization, and societal attitudes, all these will merge with sociology. And it is about linking. Nobody will tell that these two are linked. These two are very much linked. In the process itself, you will link topics. And in paper 3 too, I would say agriculture. It is, everything happens in society now. Polity, be it polity or agriculture, everything happens in society. So it is helpful. For example, farmer suicide. No, it is more a social issue than an economic issue. If it is asked in economy, you have to write an economic answer, and you end up with say a society conclusion, sociological conclusion you can give. For example, what I'm trying to say is freebies. There was that I don't know the Hindi word. What is that? Freebie culture. Prime Minister was also telling the same. Revdi culture. Revdi, which means freebies. Whether freebies are good or bad. That kind of a debate was going on. So you can expect a question on freebie. So you can, if they ask critically examine freebies in your paper 3, you have to list out, see, these things are economic rationality is missing. It is electoral politics is determining freebie. But in the end, no, you can conclude that if a freebie is going to save farmer, and if it is preventing a farmer suicide, even though it is economically irrational, it is socially rational. So what I'm just trying to illustrate, so you can give conclusions with the help of sociological knowledge. So irrespective of paper, sociology is helpful. Not just paper. To our life itself, it is very helpful, and it is also a very interesting subject. Especially now, every time he takes class, no, if he takes Emile Durkheim, we love Emile Durkheim. If he takes Mead, we'll obsess with Mead. Similarly for Marx, everything happens. So if you are a fresher, I would definitely ask you to join. This is not a marketing thing, but I'm telling you personally, I have experienced without reading books. I developed a sociological knowledge because of his classes. So any other questions? See, integrating current affairs is a crucial thing in UPSC because it is showing your application of knowledge. For instance, there was a question this year: society is more than some of the individuals. I'll better explain, sir. I can use it. Okay. I think this was the question briefly. So the question was about society is more than some of the individuals. Now my thing is, I approach this question by, now I want to write about Emil Durkheim because this statement was given by Emil Durkheim. And secondly, I want to add two more thinkers. So he got inspired this from Herbert Spencer, I believe. Then one more thing, C.H. Cooley, he will also talk about similar things, looking mirror self. So my approach would be, I have to integrate these three into the answer, as well as current affairs. When it comes to current affairs, you have to somehow I will introduce artificial intelligence or Internet of Things. I have to think some current affairs so that I can integrate. How I will integrate, I will tell you. See, this society is more than some of the individuals. I think it is discuss. So discuss is something you have to say, you have to agree that yes, it is more than some of the individuals. You can put points. And since it is 10 marker, before the conclusion, you can write the other perspective. No, at times individuals are more than some of the society, because Gandhi created Gandhian society, Buddha created Buddhist society. So now you can think artificial intelligence. Today, artificial intelligence and Internet of Things, whatever comes to your mind. No, these are creating virtual societies. Virtual societies are created by inventions of individuals, right? Inventions and discoveries of individuals are creating new societies. So it is, the connection of current affairs should be organic. It should not be like discrete. It should belong to the answer. This is how I used to integrate. This will not come in a day. I had a friend of mine, he is also a student of sir. We used to discuss things like whatever is happening, we just think on sociological lines. His name is Afzal. And he's also giving, he also gave 2 interviews and he also got good marks. So we had a very good connection. So we used to think on these lines, whatever comes to our mind, we have to integrate. So, and for the, I think for 2 to 2.5 years, COVID-19 was in news. Russia-Ukraine issue was in news. So you should, when I get question paper, what I do now, if this is question paper, I will write COVID-19. I will write Ukraine-Russia crisis. So that it comes to my mind. When I write answer, at least in 2 answers, I will mention that. So that evaluator will come to know that he can apply what he has studied. So you have to demonstrate that you have studied and you have the ability to link current affairs. Like where you can link Russia-Ukraine war. Maybe they asked about revivalism kind of things. You can say Russians and Ukrainians, ethnicity as a basis for social stratification. You can say that. Maybe it might look on the face as a geopolitical problem, but when you go sociologically deeper into the issue, we can see the ethnic lines, strong ethnic lines. So you can write an answer. He will not check whether it is right or not. He will assess you based on how you think. So many would have not written. And COVID-19 also, there was question like science and technology, democratization of science and technology was the question. Democratization of science and technology will bring inclusive development, right? Democratization of science and technology will give inclusive development. So there I wrote COVID-19. Science and technology is an agent of social change. See, we don't know to which religion we belong. We are here for a purpose, and what connects us? Science, irrespective of our religion, race, caste, science connects us. No? So, but to make it inclusive developments, democratization of science and technology is necessary. So they are asking about inaccessibility of technology. There you can mention COVID-19. COVID-19 was making education inaccessible to the technologically deprived, right? Smartphones, only those have, we can create jargons like internet privileged communities can only participate in development, whereas internet less communities and smartphone deprived communities, no, they are not part of this development. So democratization of science and technology it will bring inclusive development. In this way, you have to integrate current affairs. It should look simple. At the same time, it should not, it should be organically fitting into the answer. Are you getting my point? And here also, no, I gave some examples like society is more than sum of individuals. Like thread becomes sacred thread because society tells it is sacred. If a sacred thread is removed, it is telling it is widowhood. So even if I don't consider that as widowhood, society is telling. So society is more than some of the individuals. So you can illustrate with examples. And also there were questions like information and data. The difference between information and data is very subtle in social science. Comment. So I think information, data, social science. No, if the question is on social science, you can start with natural science. Sir would tell everything in test discussions. So natural science, in natural science, information and data are very discrete and distinct. But in social science, or you can explain what is data, what is information. And if you don't know what is data and information, just think on the lines which you have studied. I don't know what is data and what is information, but if it is an economic question, it would be different, but it is sociology question. So what is data? What is information? So I have to think from where I have studied this, because there is no other option. This was asked as a compulsory question. So you have to write an answer for this. So data is quantitative, no? Data is interpreted and formed, and information is formed, right? So interpretative school of thought is emphasizing on quantitative. So information becomes quantitative. So they have asked comment. You can also comment that no, similar to natural science, even in social science, data can be too positivist. Data is a quantitative thing. Too non-positivist or anti-positivist, that information is a qualitative thing. It requires interpretation. On this line of thought, I wrote an answer, right? Many would have written answers that might be sound, but I believe that putting terms like quantitative and qualitative, positivism and non-positivism, the evaluator thinks that he is writing a sociological answer. That is very important. So I would say, I don't know, I cannot recreate what I wrote, but I remember that 70 to 75% of my answer sheet was filled with sociological jargons and sociological statements, not just sociological jargons, sociological statements. Sir used to tell capital punishment is only for those who does not have capital. It is a sociological sentence. It is not jargon. So this kind of sentence you have to create by your own, or in discussion itself he used to tell. So these things, I did these things. If you have any specific doubt, or in last year questions, if you have any, how you would approach, if you want my approach, I can also tell. Yeah, one more, it's a good question actually. But so in sociology, you can go so much of you can go to an extent like so much of critical analysis can be done. Like, see, I remember we used to discuss on some platforms some issues now and then. So there was a topic like Zomato leave. Zomato announced period leave for women. So how will you approach this question? Is it a good thing or bad thing? On the face of at the face of it, it looks good now. But if it is asked in say GS, you can say yes, it is recognizing the dignity of the women. It is increasing the opportunity of the women. But if it is sociology, no, you can say the most intimate things of a women is determined by a capitalist, right? You can write this in sociology. You cannot write it in GS, right? If you write it in GS, definitely it is going to backfire. But in sociology, you can write. Marxists point out that when the most important or intimate rights of women are dictated by the capitalist infrastructures. So this is the difference. One thing is sociological words you should use in sociology. In GS, your perspective should be like, you should be not that much critical. Of course, you can criticize, but not at this level. Actually, I did not take any class because I was comfortable with Max. So I'm not a better person to tell you about it. But I believe that previous year questions, no. You just collect some models on maybe if you are preparing for next attempt. Maybe monthly you have to read or 5 to 6 models monthly. In 12 months you will have 60 models. Models means there will be box, no, number system only. They will put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What will come here? So I'm just giving an example. So this is one model. Number of triangles in this. This is one model. Some dates, and they will ask. They will give some 1999 November 12. It is whether Tuesday or Wednesday. That is one model. At least 5 model you prepare. That preparation should be based on previous year question, and you should be confident that Max gives you marks, because pure shot, no, it is not like GS. You can take a guess. You have to. And I used to put 40 questions at Max. Only for 2022 attempt, I put. I was putting 50 plus questions because I had time. In my earlier attempts, in all attempts, I got cleared in CSAT. But in one attempt, I got 72. That was my lowest. But still, I managed because I make at almost 35 plus questions correct. So I focus on sure shot. I don't make it 55 or 60. Definitely, I will have negative markings. So make sure that you make this 40 correct. That should be your, at the end of the day, at the time of exam, you should focus on 40. Exactly, you should be very sure about the answer. If you are not sure, don't take guess. Go to next question. That is what I'm trying to say. That worked for me. And one more thing is, I used to tell my friends too, 9:30 to 11:30 you will have exam, right? In between you will have some 2 hours. In that you have to work. In that you have to work on maybe you can solve one question paper, that too previous year question paper, because it is like in morning itself we would have dealt in a different part of our brain would have worked here, because it subject knowledge part will be checked here. Here analytical skills will be checked. So you have to start in that 2 hours itself. That was the major reason I put 50 plus question the last attempt, and I did not consciously prepare, but it got reflected after only. I'm trying to analyze what I've done in the previous attempt. So CSAT, you better ask a person who prepare completely, who would have completely preparing for CSAT. I'm not that kind of a person. It was very comfortable for me because I can mark 40 plus questions. That's what I told. I have not read any books except for MIT, Modernization of Indian Tradition by Yogendra Singh. That too, out of interest, I read. Here you will have some tabular columns that you can make a note of it. Similarly, for Merton, there will be tabular column. So for that, I referred this book, and it is a good book. Other than that, I have not read any books. I restricted my source with SAR's class notes, my personal notes. I attended SAR's class and I took notes in a way that I can understand. And then test batch discussions. Sir used to, I think if you are new to this institution, maybe you might not know. 7 to 10, we will have morning 7 to 10 a.m. we will have test. Half an hour, 1 hour break. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 3 p.m. I would say 3 p.m. we'll have discussion, test discussions. Then we will have break for lunch. Here you have to, sir will dictate answer, you have to take notes. And after maybe 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., we used to write 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. because it is difficult. 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. we used to rewrite the given answer. This is very important. Rewriting of answer is very important because this is going to be your final notes. Like no, there will be gap for I think 5 days. Sunday your exam will get completed. Next exam will be on the next week Saturday. So 5 days you can revise so much of rewritten answers. Now that is going to yield you marks because it is difficult to do this exercise. It is difficult for you to do this exercise all of a sudden. If you have rewritten answers, you can just amend the rewritten answers can be amended. No, with the help of prepared answers, you can easily amend it. And current affairs, now you can integrate any one. Sir is releasing socio fact, I think, and he used to give thinker, and where you can integrate that. It will be helpful. You follow one current affairs material because there is going to be a question on patriarchy. Definitely, there is going to be a question on patriarchy. You should make at least 5 important current affairs related to patriarchy. I wrote one fact. NCRB says women, 1 in 3 women face any one form of abuse, emotional, sexual, physical, psychological. So this was the data given by NCRB. And for this patriarchy, you have to know about 5 more thinkers, feminist thinkers. You would have known by now. And case studies. Maybe Agnihotri, I don't remember the case study exactly, but you should be ready with thinkers, current affairs, and case studies. Now, that is going to determine your marks. Definitely, that is going to determine your marks because even if you don't know, even if you have not read any of the books, by seeing the answer sheet, evaluator will think that you have read. So it is not cheating, but it is a strategy. It works. So, and it is possible only in a short time. It is only possible through a systematic work that SAR does. 80% of the thing SAR will do. 20% you have to. This thing is very crucial. 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. we will not sit because from 7 to 10 it is very difficult. I did this in 2018 and I did this in 2019. That helped in 2022. It does not, I told you earlier that I did not write any test. That is true. But because I did this, out of frustration, I didn't write. But because I did this, I cleared this examination. I would say that. Yeah, and also 298, no, it is, I would say it is somewhere evaluator would have got impressed with my answer. Or I would have written answer in a different way than the bundle. No, maybe that would have cost it, but gave me 298. But 270 plus is definitely gettable score. 270 plus is a good score. And it is definitely 275, 280 and all, it is very good score. And you can get this for sure. We cannot say that you can reach 300 plus. Of course, if we are fortunate, definitely we will get marks. But 280 plus is definitely you can score here. With his class notes and test batch discussions, you can score. Because I did the same. I'm not telling anything, no others comments, but I'm telling out of my own experience, I only no, took sources from sir as well as from paper. For paper 2, I referred few materials from IGNOU. That too for pressure group. IGNOU you would have known now. Open University, Indira Gandhi National Open University. So from here, I used to take some no reference. Not you should not read everything that MA Sociology or BA Sociology materials that is provided by IGNOU. It is like I will type pressure group IGNOU nic.in. There will be a PDF. I use that PDF for maybe value addition. Now in that book there will be few case studies and few scholars would have discussed about it. So if you need something, you can go out of sir's test batch discussion. But if you don't need, you can restrict with sir. Other than this source, these sources, I have not referred anything. I started with Harlan Bose. I think in 1 month I attended sir's orientation class in 2017. Then I did not read Harlan Bose. I think this is what I did. If you have any, you are fresher or you all fresh. So I think if you are fresher, it is good. You can join classes. If you have already given mains and you have got 250 marks, definitely you have good content. You can stick to his test discussions. Because answer rating is going to determine your marks. Even if you know, you can, understanding is essential. Cannot silence it. Understanding is very much essential. To relate question and to relate current affairs, you need understanding. But more than that, you have to demonstrate your understanding in a way that is yielding marks, and sir's test discussion will do that.
See, what makes a teacher like me happy is that before he came to talk to you, I said something, the same thing he is saying. What I told you, rewriting the test discussed answers is the surest way to clear this examination. If you wanted to score well in UPSC Sociology, rewriting the discussed answer. And I even told those who have done that, they have cleared. Those who did not do, they are again writing. So he is the best example for that. So very happy that Karthik finally got his due in this UPSC attempt, because when he told me that, sir, I am going to give this attempt without any big preparation, I was not happy, because I thought that he should not miss the bus just because he was little bit frustrated with this exam. So when he came to see me before he wrote the examination, 2022 main examination, I gave our books and told him just to read, because after having traveled this much long distance, it is natural for everyone to have some sort of irritation. Because when I am having every qualification, if I am facing rejection again and again, it is testing my patience like anything. But I have to accept the reality that this examination is not testing my intelligence, it is testing my patience only. And he did that. He said, okay, sir, I will study, but if it comes, then I am happy. If it is not coming also, I am not that so sad. So I was really thinking that this is the mindset which will definitely give him selection in this attempt. That I will do my duty, I will not look at my result, is that thing which is very much needed for all aspirants to clear this examination. Don't be result focused, be process focused. If you properly put effort in the process, you will get the product. Okay, so I express my happiness on behalf of all of you that Karthik shared important strategy which he used to clear this examination. His success story has just started. According to me, his success saga just started. He is going to get all success Whatever touches will turn into gold in the future for Mr. Karthik. So, really excited that he is going to go to the next from Brahmacharya, he is going to go to Grihastha. Right? So, my heartfelt happiness for that also. Thank you, Karthik. All the best, stay blessed. Thank you.